50 things you don't remember about Fortnite. By now, we're all familiar with the chug cannon and bandage bazooka, but would you believe me if I told you there's a secret third version? In the bodyguard LTM, you can find a mythic that only uses one inventory slot, but after just a few hours, it was deleted because of how broken it was. Another weapon everyone forgot about existed for less than a few weeks. In Season 2, spy games had a bunch of tech just like perks we have today, but with insane luck, you would unlock the suppressor and trusty dual wield at the same time. This revealed one of the rarest weapons in the game, dual suppressed pistols. Okay, only OGs will remember this iconic Easter egg from Chapter 1 that was secretly deleted. In-game, you could find these fish trophies, but not many players know about their hidden secret. If you danced in front of them, they'd flop around playing music, and the best part, it even worked with the giant one. Well, that's not the only unique feature Epic removed, because in Season 9, you could eliminate people with water balloons. They're usually a toy emote, but when the Splashdown LTM released, they were turned into a deadly weapon. That's not as weird as the day Fortnite removed an entire POI by accident. After a normal update, everyone jumped in to find Believer Beach and Holly Hedges had been wiped out. I'm not talking about destroyed either, they literally vanished. That's still not as funny as the most tragic name Epic has ever come up with. There was a forged item in Season X called Glitched, which swapped between every consumable in the loot pool. Ironically, this got vaulted after the devs realized it was actually glitched. I mean, who saw that one coming? You might also remember the Octane from last season, but did you know Rocket League put another car into Fortnite? During Llama-Rama, there was a house on the island with a huge fan living there. You could find posters, trophies, and a one-of-a-kind Whiplash Super Circuit. If you are an owner of some classic battle passes, you might have these loading screens in your locker. They are animated, which sounds awesome, but it made the game lag so much Epic never did it again. If you don't remember them, you probably also missed out on a free battle pass. At the end of Season 7, the Share the Love event gave out some Valentine's rewards, and to compete with the launch of Apex Legends, they did something insane by giving Season 8's battle pass to everyone for free. If you think that's generous, don't forget that V-Bucks used to cost way more. After Epic sued Apple, they lowered all of their prices by 20% to show it wasn't for profit. They even gave refunds to people who bought V-Bucks before the discount, and this new price is still going strong today. Let's unlike this mythic item, which has been gone for years. The Raptor Claw was only available in the Impossible Escape mode, and even then, it was hard to find. You had to get a quest from a Huntmaster NPC before tracking down some raptors, all to get this item, which you could trade to reveal more of the map. Once you did, even more exclusive items were revealed, and not gonna lie, I also forgot about these. Since you had to repair the chopper to escape, there are parts scattered across the map. You can literally pick up an engine, thruster, and rotor blades. But who remembers the time Fortnite forced you outside to earn V-Bucks? In Season 5, they added PCB challenges where you could earn battle stars, an exclusive contrail, and 350 V-Bucks. All you had to do was some simple quests. Seems easy, right? Well, there was one problem. They had to be completed at PCB computer cafes, which are in South Korea. For some players, it was even harder to find the legendary tactical SMG. This was only in the game for 1 week, which wasn't too bad, except for the fact that you had to get it at Starry Suburbs. This place is pretty forgotten about by itself, even though it had raining loot stars with a chance for them to have the rarest SMG in the game. Even that had more fans than people who remember Storm Destruction. This was only in the game for half a day, which isn't surprising when you find out what it did. If a match went on for too long, every build in the Storm was deleted and completely ruined endgames. As for the fireworks flare gun, you probably remembered this as a Chapter 3 weapon, but for OG players, it's even more familiar. Epic actually did this in 2018 for July 4th by reskinning the grenade launcher to shoot fireworks. It wasn't that impressive because hardly anyone noticed. Sometimes even the most popular features are forgotten about. In 2019, Epic introduced account merging, which was perfect for people who had multiple consoles or old accounts. Now you can merge them all into one, but this didn't go as well as you'd expect. People abused the system, selling OG skins and rare lockers to the highest bidder, so Epic shut it down a few months later. They also deleted this special item. The Spiky Stadium was exclusive to Playground mode, and when you threw it on the ground, it would create this giant arena to play a crazy impulse minigame with your friends. I mean, there's so many device exclusives in the game, it seems like everyone forgot about the original. It wasn't the Galaxy skin, it was actually Royale Bomber. It was bundled with a PlayStation 4 worth $500, which seemed a little crazy at the time. Everyone was trying to get all the codes, modes only for Sony to include it with a controller later on. And speaking of bundles, just wait until you see what Epic packed into these grenades. At one point, you can find one of these with a green health logo on the side, and if you don't remember it, it's even better than you think. This thing could instantly revive teammates in the Bodyguard LTM, and it's a shame it was forgotten because this would be insane in regular modes. I'd say the same goes for transparent edits. Back in Chapter 1, you could see through walls, stairs, and doors when holding edit. It was pretty broken. Players would just wait behind walls or even under cones, and now that I'm seeing this again, it's literally wall hacks. But there was one structure that was determined to stay on the map. When the cube first arrived, it crushed this innocent HUD, but that wasn't the end of its story. Over the weeks and months, it slowly rebuilt, this time with upgrades. All of this just for the black hole to take it all away again. At least it returned as a coffee shop. These mini map changes are always forgotten about, and the same could be said for the meeting. North of Wailing Woods, you could find a scarecrow, teddy bear, and gargoyle sitting in a circle. It's always pretty creepy, but they got wiped out when the volcano arrived. I'll admit, nothing's worse than forgetting about a mythic item while it's still in the game. A lot of people dislike the Primal season, but one thing everyone can agree on is how useless the Spire jump boots were. They let you double jump and glide, but the real problem was how you got them. You had to defeat a Spire Guardian across the map, then carry the orb to the main tower just to waste an inventory slot. I mean, no wonder they were hated. Sometimes Epic just likes to experiment with things, and that's why you probably don't remember the Teams of 12 LTM. Yeah, this was actually a thing and worked like 50v50, but instead of 2 teams, there were 8 of them. They even made other versions like Teams of 20 and 33, but they must have not been popular because they never returned. The same can be said for the Gatherer, which is one of the weirdest items ever. They came out of the Gorger bosses during the Marble season and could actually be picked up and used as a weapon. There was unlimited ammo and could be charged up to fire a single explosive shot. The only issue was you couldn't use anything else while holding it. Even if something is completely overpowered, it can still be forgotten about, and that's exactly what happened to rapid farming. There used to be a bug where you could switch to an item in your inventory between every swing and your pickaxe would go at double speed. I mean, I'm kind of glad this one was removed. Did you know that Fortnite used to have unlimited ammo? In the past, you could actually hold 999 of every bullet type, with people having nearly 1,000 AR and hundreds of rockets by the end of a game. Something else that's gone through tons of changes is traps. We all remember the OG Spike version, but there are also others for ice, poison, and even fire. They sound great, but were so useless that they didn't last more than a season. And I'll admit, the excitement never died for turbo building. Many people forget that Fortnite didn't always have this setting, and it's what allowed you to hold down a button to build instead of clicking for every piece. Not to mention the fact that they tried to nerf the feature after the game got sweaty, but the entire community complained until it was brought back. Really weird to think Fortnite used to never have this. The same can be said about gliding. Epic tested a feature in Season 6 that gave everyone unlimited glider redeploy in all modes. It made mobility a lot easier and encouraged more fights, but after the test ended, they decided it was too much and tried it as an item instead. Of course, that didn't last long either. One item we've all used by now is grenades, but you probably didn't know they used to look very different. Their icon was a complete stencil drawing, and the same design was used for all the ammo in the inventory. It wasn't in the game for long before they gave them proper icons, but you gotta be pretty OG to remember this. You also had to be in the item shop over 1,500 days ago to pick up the rarest back bling. The buckle bundle was only sold 3 times in Fortnite history and hasn't been seen since 2018. They were also praised when they added this wholesome emote. Of course, I'm talking about Orange Justice. If you don't remember, Epic hosted a Boogie Down contest to get your own dance put into the game. And when the orange shirt kid lost, the community were so disappointed, Epic added it to the next battle pass. One thing that nobody asked for was smoke grenades. I'm not talking about shadow bombs. These things actually made a cloud of smoke to hide in, and while it seems pretty useful, they got annoying really quick and were never seen again. We also never saw the return of Renegade Raider's secret item. Back in Season 3, the servers went out for over 24 hours, and the Rust Bucket backbling was given to players for 0 V-Bucks. You probably didn't realize that it's not the only backbling for Rust Lord, but Renegade Raider as well. Now let's flip the script. Epic also promised us a storyline trailer every month, but I guess forgot about it. When Burning Wolf was introduced with the first shadows, he came with his own special animated trailer and revealed Midas's clear voice. We were told there would be more for the others, but we never saw anything come of it, and they even deleted the video a few days later. Epic seems to have a problem with removing things, and the upgrade bench suffered the same fate. We all know about the ones around the map right now, but did you know there was a throwable version? Spoiler, they completely broke the game and only lasted for 1 season before before getting vaulted. Now, this ice cream truck also has a secret of its own. For a short time in Chapter 1, all of them suddenly had 100,000 health and were nearly impossible to destroy. It wasn't the only item with insane health. During summer 2019, players could damage a giant duck to make it move down the river, and by the end of the event, it had swam from one side of the map to the other. There are so many vaulted items that you probably forgot the time you could clone yourself. The spy season added a ton of interesting things, but one of the most underrated was decoy nades. You could literally create exact copies of yourself to trick enemies into shooting the wrong one. And you probably wouldn't even recognize a clone wearing this skin. Havoc and Sub Commander are insanely rare and were exclusive to Twitch Prime subscribers. You had to link your account and claim the pack for free in 2018. Pretty much everyone forgot about this. Just like the Mythic Mushroom, which is only in the game for one season. It had a 1 in 10,000 spawn rate and was nearly impossible to find, only spawning in certain areas. They give you 100 shield instantly, but were so rare that barely anyone knew they existed. That's the opposite case for the Minty Pickaxe. This thing was infamous for becoming one of the most sought after items in the game, with endless giveaways, codes for sale, even GameStop being sold out. It was based on one of the most popular pickaxes and never sold in the item shop, which generated a ridiculous amount of hype, with some codes being sold for hundreds of dollars. We also wanted to get our hands on police cars until they were suddenly removed. Before the Joyride update launched, there was one vehicle everyone was hoping to drive. But after real-life controversy, Epic took a stand and wiped them from coming to the game. One of the most iconic challenges was also lost in history. In the past, we would get a loading screen every week, which had both storyline secrets and Battlestar locations. It was loved by the community, but now they're gone. So are Vendetta floppers. These were completely unique, but sadly got overshadowed by the Midas flopper releasing at the same time. It marked the nearest enemy. It was basically the Storm Mark perk ahead of its time. The same could be said for Playground mode. Back in Chapter 1, the hype for this was insane and was all anyone talked about. I mean, the content was crazy, from obstacle courses to ship battles, even custom training areas. While that was an early test for creative, Epic has tested other things by accident. Before the Forecast or the Storm Scout Sniper, there was another version in the game for just 30 minutes. The Eye of the Storm. It worked just like a jetpack, but instead of flying, it told you the next storm circle. Even the default dance isn't saved from the vault. You might know how the emote is different music each time you use it, but it originally had a third track. It sounded identical to Faith by George Michael, so Epic were forced to delete it. Ninja also found himself deleted by Tfue when the two pros ran into each other in a real game in Chapter 1. It was a fight everyone had been asking for, and let me tell you, it didn't disappoint. A legendary moment for sure, but not as special as the Lost Golden Umbrella. There were so many rumors about how to get it, from winning 100 games to getting a bunch of limbs, but it was never released to the public. Let me know how many things you actually did remember. Don't cheat. It's Patami. Keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.